Hi, this is Paul from xBratTrading.com, and this is a stocks swing trading tutorial using the TradingView platform and the xBratAlgo. So before I start on the xBratAlgo, I just want to make something very clear. If you are a serious trader, you need to understand where the support and resistance zones are for a particular stock or instrument. You need to frame the chart. You need that skill. In the description below, I will put a link to one or two videos that explains how to do that, because no matter which signal you use, what type of strategy, you don't short into support and you don't go long into resistance. It's one of the basic rules. So that aside, I'm going to talk about Shopify, one of the biggest stocks. We're going to look at these xBrat signals. And then we're going to set up some alerts on the TradingView platform for the future, because we know, it looks like it behaves well. So we got some. We go down to the left here. This is the daily time frame. Remember, every candle is a day. We've got some major support down here that has really found support. Longer term back here in 2020, 2019. So let's go through this. Let's see what happens. So we find this support here, this 6-star sell signal here. There isn't a trigger on that. Okay, we get a 6-star buy on this candle. Remember, our entry for the 6-star buy signal for an xBrat signal is to go, in this sort of case at $350 type stock at that price. We're talking about 4-5 cents above that signal. That didn't trigger, because we had the signal candle here and then it pulled back down. We then test that support. We get another 6-star buy signal right here. Again, we're looking for the next day to go through there, and it triggered. Our stop would be below this support and resistance zone. Very simple. And then you see the really great move. I'm not going to talk about trade management here. I'm just going to talk about signals and entry, because this is very important. You understand support and resistance zones and how to use this xBratAlgo to make those good entry decisions. So as you can see here, we had a great 6-star. That one didn't trigger. This one did. Really great move up from $339. Or those highs were $592. Great move. We're coming back down, but then we get a 5-star sell signal at this point. Again, if you want to be aggressive with a 5-star sell signal, you would look to get an entry one tick below. Okay, but one thing to consider here, your stop's got to be above this pivot just before the 5-star signal. This is important. We already know where that support and resistance zone is, because we've used it when it bounced off here to trade this long. If we put a risk to reward in here from the stop, the 5-star entry, we're only 1-to-1 to that support zone. We don't short into support, so we ignore the signal. Next, we find support around that same support zone. We get a 6-star buy signal on this candle here. Remember, we have the entry, the stop really probably just underneath this pivot, but the 6-star candles here, we can go around about this sort of price here as well. We've got a lot of gaps in there with stocks. The main thing is why this is just a one pivot. Okay, this is not a support and resistance zone. A support and resistance zone is tested usually from above and below on multiple times. This is just a one-hit wonder. This was earnings reaction coming down here. Okay, we haven't got earnings for another point until we get up to this point here. So we're not going to have that same sort of pivot reaction until we get closer to earnings, potentially. So we don't class this as a support and resistance zone because it's one pivot on one earnings. Okay, this zone down here gets tested multiple times. That's why it's support and resistance zone. 6-star buy, we go long above the signal candle. The following day did not trigger, the next day did. massive move, huge move in fact, all the way really until we become range bound in this range here. Next we then start to identify this range because we get a test at this point here, a test at this point here, and we get some good support here and here. We get a 6-star buy at this point. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to push through this zone of price. This 6-star buy you ignore because you don't go long into this resistance. Okay, if you wanted to trade that, that's fine, but you've got to have a very tight stop because your risk to reward again is 1 to 1, and you would look, you know, to get out. 5-star, 6-star sell going into support. Don't short into support. Don't take it. This is a prime example, taking this 6-star buy at this point here. Okay, it did push through eventually, but took quite a long time to push through down through. 5, 6-star sells into support don't work. 6-star long, however, does work. We get the 6-star sell coming into here, don't short into support. Then we get a 6-star buy here. So again, with this one, if we're going to take that where we've got fresh air, we go long at this point here. Our stop is at the pivot before the 6-star buy, and then it doesn't come down to test the stop. If you didn't get that for one, we get a 6-star buy on this. Let's change that to green. It's following the same rules all the time. So stops below this pivot. It never came to take this stop out on that first original signal. We're through the resistance zone with this signal. We take the signal. If you didn't take that signal, you get that 6-star sell. Don't take the 6-star sell. We're going into support. We come back up, 6-star buy signal at this point here. If you fail to take the first one, here's the second one. Okay, there's the stop for the second one, pretty much the same, and it just goes. Okay, then we get another 6-star buy at this point here. Again, let's have a look at this 6-star sell buy candle here. This is where our stop would be under this point. Have we got a support and resistance zone here? We've got a bit of a shoulder actually here. Okay, I don't like that risk to reward. I wouldn't take it. In the end, it was a reasonable trade, but not a fantastic trade. Now, recently on Shopify, we get the 5-star sell at this point here. Stop just above the recent pivot just here. We got enough fresh air to get down to this previous support and resistance zone that we've identified really big on this range, the top of this range, to push through. We've got enough room. In fact, it pushes through this, it pushes through that one, and now we're in a big downward move at the moment. Okay, so it doesn't matter which signal generator or software you've got, you still need to understand where the support and resistance zones are. Very, very simple to do, and then that discounts some of the signals that you get. Then you take the high probability ones with fresh air. And as I've gone through this Shopify, I've talked about the trades not to take, the trades to take. Very, very simple rules that are repeatable. Now, we know this works pretty well on the xBratAlgo on 5 and 6-star sells, and probably only just 6-star buys by the looks of it. So, you know, when we back test, we say, right, the 6-star buys have been brilliant, but also the 5 and 6-star sells have been pretty good as well. So we can set those alerts up on our TradingView platform to tell us, hey, there's a signal on Shopify. To do that, we go to the right here to the alerts tab. We're going to add an alert. We're going to go down to xBratAlgo, and we're going to say, right, I want a 6-star buy. Okay, once per bar. So every time there's a new candle, if there's a 6-star buy, it will give us an alert. Now, want to leave that open-ended because we want to be alerted whenever there's a signal. Then we can look at the chart, make sure we got some fresh air. We can click notify and add. We can show on pop-up. We can add. We can send it as an email. We want to give it an alert name, so we give it SHOP 6-star buy. Okay, and then 6-star buy. We do the same thing on the message. This is the message that we'll receive. So let's go and put that in. want the same one on there. There we go. So that's the message we'll receive every time the shop prints a 6-star buy. We create that, and it's done. It's there. As you can see here, it's just come up on the right hand pane. Shop 6-star buy. The alert is active. We can add shorts now, so we can go to the same thing. We go to the little alarm clock. It's an alert. Excuse me. We add an alert. We go to xBratAlgo. This time 6-star sell. Okay, once per bar. Where we want to be, it's open-ended. We want to notify on our app on the phone. We also want to show the pop-up on the chart in case we're in the charts. And this time we're going to call it shop 6-star sell. Okay, we're going to put that into the message that we receive. Click create, and we see now that is active. So whenever there's a 6-star buy or a 6-star sell for Shopify, we will be alerted. So again, work through those major stocks. Even if Shopify is too expensive for you, look at other stocks, alternatives that are cheaper. Put those support and resistance zones on. Look at the most prominent types of signals, mainly probably 5 and 6-star, and put those alerts on. And again, if you are sensible and you look at these support and resistance zones and understand that little bit of behavior, you can ignore some of the signals, but then take those signals with fresh air. And as you can see right here, and the ones I've gone through, the ones with fresh air actually produce really great results. Hopefully this swing trading tutorial for stocks on the TradingView platform using this xBratAlgo has been beneficial.